and then we'll talk a little bit about your successor. But where are you heading once you and the family leave Enid, Oklahoma?
Well, we have been selected to go to Headquarters Air Education Training Command at Randolph Air Force Base. So I'm going to it's not corporate headquarters, but it's it's corporate headquarters.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And I'm going to go be the director, I'm going to go be the A589, which means I'm the director of plans, programs, requirements, and lessons learned. And then I have a studies and analysis squadron too. And it's a big portfolio. I'm not going to kid you. It's a big portfolio, and my learning curve is going to have to be steep. The good news is I've got a great team there who's doing the job every day, so I'll come in and they'll help educate me to make sure. But what I'm really supposed to do is the programming aspect of it is the budgeting process within the Department of Defense. And so what I'm going to go do, as I said in the papers, I'm supposed to go get the money for Headquarters Air Education Training Command. So my job is to advocate at the Air Force level to make sure that we get the funding for all the required items that the command needs, whether that be pilot training, whether that be tech training for our new sessions, whether that be education for schools at Maxwell, the Senior Enlisted Academy, all of that stuff, to make sure that all of those funding streams continue. And then the big challenge is for new and emerging requirements that Education and Training Command has, such as the replacement for the T-38, such as the training for the F-35, such as maintenance training for F-22, such as C-130 training, the C-130E's training that the Guard is going through right now. So there are some big rocks in my portfolio. My job is to somehow navigate and not put the boat on those rocks, and we'll see how we do on that.
Well, we have a few minutes here. Let's talk a little bit about some of the exciting changes that also took place at Vance Air Force Base while you were there. It's kind of like much watching your own child grow up. You really don't notice it day to day. But, the continued renovation, expansion of the mission, and everything else at Vance Air Force Base, while we are a small base out there, what a vital place, what a vital and growing place, Colonel.
Oh, absolutely. Vance is well positioned, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, well positioned to continue on doing its primary mission, and perhaps expanding. We're not sure about that. The Air Force is transfiguring itself as we speak, and certainly the requirements as we move into remotely piloted vehicles, as the Air Force transitions there. The requirements for pilots is going to continue. So there's other airplanes out there. We still need to train the Iraqis and the Afghanis Air Force before the United States Air Force will leave those two countries. So there's a continuing requirement for us to go train Iraqi and Afghani pilots. We haven't seen Afghani yet, but the Iraqi pilots, were sending IPs into Iraq to help train them. And then finally, there's an emerging mission called the MC-12, the Liberty ship, which is an interesting aircraft. It's a C-12 that we put all kind of sensors on that we're constantly sending IPs downrange, and they're serving for 6 months at a time in Iraq and Afghanistan, supporting the global war. All of those requirements come out of the current people that are sitting here at Vance. So right now we have 50 airmen that are deployed downrange. And we can never forget that our mission is to train pilots, but it's also to provide combat mission ready airmen to support the global, the combatant commanders' global efforts to fight terrorism. And we have airmen every day that are out there doing it. And I'm quite proud that we've been very successful since I've been here in the 22 months of all our airmen have gone out, all our airmen have come back, and we've been blessed.
And that was one of the